9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Buonasera a tutti, good evening everybody. Why am I speaking in English, Monica?
Well, because we have an English-speaking guest tonight. So after a year of New Normal Live, we decided that it was time also to go international, and we have an international guest.
So let's go. Last Thursday, we had an English lesson. Do you remember?
With Norma's teaching. We were speaking.
Norma's teaching.
Yeah.
Norma Cerletti is she's a star on Instagram, and she spoke with us about the best way to learn English. So today we do an interview in English, and we are going, ladies and gentlemen, to meet a special entrepreneur who invented a pencil that you can plant, Mr. Michael Stausholm.
Exactly. So, growing pencils. Many of us know them, many don't. So it would be also nice to discover what they are exactly. But basically, you imagine some pencils that you can plant into the ground and growing vegetables, flowers, herbs. But Michael is going to tell us more about that. Sure. So we have here the CEO and founder of the company, Sprut, Michael. He was born in Denmark, so he's connected from Copenhagen. He founded Sprut in 2013. He was previously working in companies such as Nike and Walmart, so has an interesting career to talk about. But tonight we are focused on growing pencils. We can let Michael in. What do you think, Filippo?
Okay. Hi, Michael. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Welcome to New Normal Life. So, Michael, we know that you are a very, very busy person. So let's start with your experience. Do you prefer to write by hand or with a computer?
I take all my notes by hand, and I do a lot of note taking during the day, and that's all by pencil. But I don't send notes to other people by handwriting, because unfortunately my handwriting is so bad they wouldn't be able to read.
Why do you take notes on pencils and not on pen? Because you want to erase, or what's the idea?
I think it's an old habit. Also, science has shown that when you take notes by hand, you actually remember much better than if you take notes on your computer. So for note taking, I always use pencil and the paper.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, as a psychologist, I've studied that topic a lot, and there's a lot of science behind the effect on taking notes by hand or by computer. So agree with you that by hand is way better for our brain, actually, while we work or study. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What was the first step in creating your company? We were saying that you founded Sprut in 2013. How did it all begin?
Originally, the Sprout pencil is an idea from 3 young students at MIT in Boston in USA. Mm-hmm. They came up with the idea. They put it on Kickstarter.com, the crowdfunding site, where I saw it and I thought, whoa, this is a great idea for illustrating what sustainability is all about. Because you have a product, you use it for something, and instead of throwing it out when you are done, you use it for something entirely different. You literally, in the case of the Sprout pencil, give it new life by planting it. And I love that idea. I took contacts to the young students, and I made a deal with them to initially sell and distribute in Europe. And about a year later, in 2014, I purchased all the rights, the patents behind the Sprout pencil from the young students, and they moved on to other things.
Mhm. Sorry, I mispronounced the company name. So it's Sprout.
Sprout.
Yes.
So, but what is the purpose of Sprout? I mean, what is the mission of your company?
Initially, Sprout was about a product. It was a fun product. It's a pencil you can write with, and then you can plant it. But very soon and today, Sprout is all about purpose before product, because the Sprout pencil is used by especially companies all over the world, but also consumers to better understand sustainability. If you are a consumer, to explain to your friends or to your kids what's about. If you are a company, it can be very, very difficult to communicate sustainability. So companies like Disney, like Carabinieri, and so on, use the Sprout pencil to send their own sustainable messages. They get their names and messages engraved or printed on the Sprout pencils and hand them out, and they start a conversation about sustainability. So it's all about the purpose, and it's also about inspiring others to think. If you can take a pencil and give it a second life by planting it, what other products can you take and give a new life after the original use?
Very nice.
Awesome.
So
But
it's not all about the object, but the idea behind it, which is very, very interesting. In the meanwhile, I just go to Italian 1 second to ask our audience if they know about the pencil. So chiediamo intanto, switchiamo un po' tra l'italiano e l'inglese per insomma tenere un po' il filo con tutte le persone che ci seguono ogni giovedì, e vi chiediamo: ma voi le conoscete queste matite che si piantano? Le avete mai in qualche modo intercettate? Perché
le usate, non le usate, perché cosa le usate, a chi scrivete? Insomma, abbiamo qua Michael che è il fondatore di questa bellissima azienda. Michael, let me ask you something about the funds, the money. I mean, the funding is a big problem for all startups. What about your company? I mean, did the MIT help you to find money?
No, MIT didn't have anything to do with the funding. I was first of all fortunate that I was experienced and I had started businesses before, and so I could finance by myself. But also, very importantly, because the Sprout pencil is patented, it means that there's no one, if someone tries to copy or do something similar, that's illegal. They can't do that. There's only one Sprout pencil, meaning a lot of companies want our product. They must come to us or to one of our resellers, of course. So what we did was to ask for prepayment when I started the business. And the prepayment, of course, of the orders, that helped fund the business because it created a positive cash flow. I was also very careful not to invest too much money in the beginning until I knew that this idea was fantastic and it would create a big business. And I think that's a problem for many startups in the beginning, spending too much money before they actually sell product. But I did it that way, and you can do it. We could do it because we had the patent. So we are operating in what you call a blue ocean with no competition, as opposed to
not
red
ocean, but blue ocean. Okay.
Yeah. Very, very, very interesting. If you think about yourself in 2013, when you found the idea of Sprout, of those 3 students, did you actually picture yourself growing the company as much as it did, or I mean, it was a surprise also for you?
No, it was of course it was a surprise to me, because very quickly we got a lot of media attention because it was a new idea, it was patented, and it was about sustainability. I knew the idea was great, but I couldn't imagine that it would be such a great success. I mean, today we have sold more than 40 million pieces of Sprout pencils. We sell in 80 countries. We have all kinds of very, very big customers and clients, governments, and so on. But I could never have imagined that when 8 years ago I was standing in the living room with the kids packing pencils, thinking where to put all this, because there was pencils everywhere. I didn't imagine it was grow. And
Sorry, Michael, how many pencils did you sell in Italy? You mean you said you told us 40 million all over the world, but how many in Italy?
Italy has always, actually from the beginning, been one of our biggest markets, top 2 market for Sprout. Mm-hmm. So we have sold millions.
So the other which is it?
That's a little bit between USA and Germany, but Italy always either number 1 or number 2 year after year. Wow. And we've sold millions of Sprout pencils, and we still do today every year.
But from your point of view, what is the reason? I mean, Italy is a great market for your pencil.
Initially, I think it was a little bit by coincidence, because we got a lot of bloggers writing about us in Italy back in 2013-14. We had media exposure and so on. But I also think that Italy is actually very much in the front when we talk about sustainability. Mm-hmm. Italy is very much about the natural food, is about organic growing. So it resonates with the Italian consumer and companies to use Sprout pencils to communicate their own business and sustainability messages.
Yeah, well, nice. It's a nice idea that you have of us Italian. I think we can be glad now about the idea of sustainability. But who makes your turnover in Italy? I mean, you sell to companies, you sell to privates. How do you do it?
I mean, what's your business? I mean, it's a B2B business. It's a B2C business.
It's about 75 to 80% of our business is B2B to companies.
Okay.
And we sell a lot through reseller companies, distributors in Italy, but we also sell a lot directly to the end customers in Italy. In addition, we sell on our own web shop on sproutworld.com, and we sell a lot on Amazon.it. It seems in Italy, you like to shop on Amazon because, like for the rest of us, it's very easy.
Yeah, nice. What's next for the Italian market? I mean, what are your ideas for the future here in our country?
What I see is that we continue to grow the business in Italy, and I expect Italy to continue to be one of our biggest markets. But actually, what we just launched a few months ago is a plantable eyeliner. So we are going into the makeup business. And
wow,
the beauty business.
I would be one of your clients then.
Okay.
Exactly. So we have launched and they're all plantable like our pencils. It's the same principle, and it's covered by the same patent. So it's also a global patent. So we launched a black eyeliner, a brown eyeliner, and a brown brow liner. So, and I think Italy is a fantastic market for because Italy is fashion, beauty. It's the home country of fashion. So what we see already is a lot of sales on the eyeliners and brow liners that you can plant as well.
Nice.
Awesome.
And I mean, let's remember it, but with your pencils, you can actually grow plants, but also herbs and vegetables. So we are also a foodie country. Let's not forget about it. Yeah.
And with the eyeliners, brow liners, you can grow. They grow wildflowers. So you use your eyeliner, and once you're done, you would normally throw the stuff out, right? But now you can actually give your eyeliner a second life, and you can grow wildflowers. So it's a beautiful solution. And the beauty industry is not very sustainable. They want to be, and they talk about it. But for instance, our eyeliner is allergy certified. So that means if you have allergies, there's no problems. It's all natural, vegan formula and so on. And strangely enough, that's not normal in the beauty industry. We are one of the few ones that are allergy certified. So I expect a lot from this product, but it's a new business for us, and it's all consumer, not B2B.
Okay, so
Sure.
it's a new market also.
New market.
New
And
market.
speaking about Italy, what's the next step? I mean, we hope that you will open an office in Italy. Am I wrong?
That would definitely be in the plans for the future. I mean, we have some great partners in Italy that we work with, but because Italy is such a big market for us, and I only see it continue to grow, it would make a lot of sense for us to let Italy be the next place where we open up an office, which would be in addition to Copenhagen, where the headquarters is, and Boston in USA, where we have an office also.
Would it
Nice,
be in
nice.
2022?
I would say more 2023, probably.
And what about the city? Milan, Rome, Venice, Florence?
He wants to go to Florence, I think.
Florence, I'm a big fan of Toscana, but I think for business it would be either Milan or perhaps Rome.
Nice, nice.
Awesome, awesome.
And Michael, thinking on your experience as a Danish company opening an Italian market, what would you say or recommend to somebody who wants to approach the Italian market with a business idea? What's your experience, your outtakes from this whole thing?
I think Italy is a very big market, but it's also, of course, a very there's big difference between North Italy and South Italy. So depending on your product and your approach, you need to consider that. Strangely enough, our business is just as big in Northern Italy as in Southern Italy, so there's no difference for us. But definitely you need to. So many people think that Europe is the same, north, south, east, west. But especially if you are American, you think Europe is all the same. But we are different. There's a difference between Northern Europe and Southern Europe, and you have to consider those issues also. You need to consider seasons, weather. For us, selling a product that can be planted, we need to consider which plants grow best in which countries, as an example, right?
I mean, for example, in Netherlands, you would suggest to plant tulipani. What's the English for tulipani?
Tulips.
Tulips. Okay.
Yes.
In Italy,
Actually, in Italy, our sprout pencils with herbs are very, very popular. The basil, thyme, and so on. And I think because of the cooking, I mean, basil you can use for anything, for pasta, for pesto, for spaghetti. So, and we used to sell also rosmarino. In Italy was the #1 bestseller in Italy. But unfortunately, rosmarino takes 5 to 6 weeks to grow. And when people plant their sprout pencil, they want to see results quickly. People are very impatient. So 5 to 6 weeks to grow rosmarino, people would think it didn't work.
And they throw everything away.
So we need seeds, plants that grow fast so people can see results.
Yeah. But it's very nice. I actually used your sprout pencils a few months ago in one of my events. I organized digital detox events where we take people out in the middle of nowhere, disconnected from digital, and we gave as a gift to all the participants a pencil, and people loved it because really the idea was, okay, it's something that I can use, and then it will somehow re-give me something else in terms of herbs and everything. So a very nice gift also.
And that's a great point, because if you give someone a plastic ball pen with your logo on, They have, first of all, it's not very environmentally friendly. Second of all, people have received so many plastic ball pens, they just throw them out and it's useless. If you give them a sprout pencil which can be planted, you can already start a conversation. A lot of people call it an icebreaker, because you can actually start talking about sustainability, about growing, about cooking, and also writing, drawing. So it's a great conversation starter.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And
Last question, Michael. What kind of opportunities do you see in the post-COVID economy from your view?
I think these are interesting times, because COVID in some ways has changed things. Suddenly working from home, suddenly back in the office, maybe mixing. And in many ways, it seems like COVID is the chance to change some things, to do some things different. And in my area, which is sustainability and impact the climate, what I've seen is that before COVID-19, everyone was talking about sustainability, but it was sort of a nice thing to have in companies or in your everyday life. It was nice to have. But what happened during COVID-19 and now is that sustainability has become something need to have. There's a lot, we need to do something for the climate, for the planet, to change things, to change the way people are thinking. And I know that people are just much more concerned now with sustainability and with the green business. So definitely to start a business today, you must think sustainability into your business model, where you produce. I mean, Sprout, for instance, we don't produce anything in Asia or purchase any materials from Asia. Everything is sourced and produced in Europe for Europe, and in USA for USA. So you should focus on local production, because that's where you create local jobs, but you don't impact the climate the same way if you ship goods from around the world to make shoes or clothes, for instance.
Awesome. So from nice to have to need to have.
Definitely. It used to be that it was in companies there was maybe a CSR sustainability manager, and that person was very alone, was trying to talk to the boss, we should, and so on, but was not really, the boss was listening, but and thought it was a good idea, but nothing happened. What we hear now is that it's coming from the board of directors, it's coming from the CEOs. They are telling their employees, we must think sustainability into the business model. And that's where it has to come from. It has to come from the CEOs and from the companies.
But what is the reason? I mean, from sustainability is must have. I'm sure that it is. But from your perspective, from your point of view, what is the origin? What is the reason of this new way of thinking business?
That's a good question, Philip. I think it has to do with, we were sitting during COVID-19, we were sitting working from home, there was not so many cars in the streets. We saw that actually made a big impact on the pollution and the planet, right? But then we came back and everything was like before. And I just think that people start to realize that we can actually do something. It doesn't have to be that we all have to stay at home, not at all. But on the contrary, I mean, we need to grow businesses and grow societies. But we just have to think about how we do it. Drive electric cars instead of gasoline cars. And the way we purchase, look at natural things. Purchase local fruit and vegetables and produce instead of buying overseas imported fruit, for instance. And I think it's just, it happened during COVID-19 that people started to think more about what we can do to change things.
Sure. So you mean it's pandemic was an opportunity to rethink our business and our life.
I think so. I think because we had more time on our hands. A lot of people took walks to just get some fresh air, but we generally had more time to think. And I think the pandemic did that. And I think that was probably the only good thing coming out of that. That it forced us to take it easy and to think and to try and understand what was going on around us. And it was before COVID-19 was a lot of talk about the climate. We must do this and that, and governments talking. But I think that also the ordinary person is starting to see that yes, we must do something, and we must do small things even in our everyday life, because when we do a lot of small things, that actually adds up to make a big
impact.
Exactly.
Yeah. Somehow we think about these topics, sustainability, as something very far away from our everyday life. But in fact, if we try to bring it down to small pieces, then it becomes easier. And probably that's also part of the success of Sprout. Something very little, small, doable from everybody, instead of, as you were saying before, giving a normal plastic pencil, delivering one of your Sprout pencil just gives another message to people. So
exactly, and that's back to talking about purpose, because if people are talking about the polar bears are dying because of climate change and the CO2 is a big problem, those are very, very difficult issues to deal with for us as private persons, because how can I do something that can save the polar bears in the Antarctics? But what the Sprout pencil is doing is that it's a small thing. So if you can use a Sprout pencil and you can plant it afterwards instead of throwing it out, what else can I do in my everyday life to not just throw things out, but actually reuse them for other things? And that makes it much, much easier for us to take action.
Sure.
Yeah.
So a small object, a small thing for a big issue. I mean, that's Sprout.
Yeah. That's a great message for our audience also, Filippo, because I think in this year we never directly talked about sustainability. We talked about this topic in different ways, but not as directly as today. So it was a very big
opportunity.
A great honor to have here Michael talking about this.
Sure. So, Michael, we are looking to meeting you in Milan.
I'm looking very much forward to that.
2023. So, thank you for being with us. We are really happy to hear that in Italy, the sustainability is a main topic, and Italian people are really focused on this. This new way of thinking our lives. So thank you for being with us, and
we'll look forward to meet you here in Milan. And for our listeners, I would say that we have to remember, Filippo, that next week we're not going to have our Thursday meeting, but it will be moved on Tuesday, 6 p.m. And we will talk with a youngster, Federica Mutti, about her way of setting up her career on YouTube. So it will be a different topic. But I think probably some questions about sustainability will come up also, given her young age, that she's very interested in the topic. Yeah.
So again, Michael, thank you indeed. Thank you for being with us, and thank you to Carmela. Carmela, grazie mille di essere stati con noi. Non ti preoccupare, l'inglese è il mio forte, ma insomma tutto si impara e si può migliorare. Grazie mille. So thank you, Michael. See you next time. Bye bye.
Grazie, buonasera. Buonasera.
Ciao.
Grazie
ciao.
mille. Bye bye.
Ciao. Bye bye.